Hello, ako po si Ate Alyannah, the National Chairperson of Youth for Mental Health Coalition. What made me an advocate for mental health? Well, mental health is actually very personal to me. Back then, mental health was a topic that no one talked about. Some would even invalidate my emotions and will tell me, nag-iinarte lang daw ako. I was confused by the unpleasant emotions that I was feeling, and I never shared my struggle to my family because of the fear of being a pabigat. Kaya naman ngayon ay patuloy na lumalaban para ang mga susunod na kabataang Pilipino ay hindi na makakaranas ng aking dinanas. Mahirap, nakakapanlumo, hindi dapat maramdaman ng sino man ang pagkakataong pinagdududahan natin ang ating mga sarili. So today, I'm here to briefly discuss with you what mental health is and how we can be better today despite the pandemic. There is no health without mental health dahil magkasing importante lamang ang ating physical at ang ating mental na kalusugan. According to the World Health Organization, mental health is our state of well-being. Estado ng ating kaginhawaan, estado ng ating kagalingan wherein we recognize our strengths, our weaknesses, and most specifically, our potentials, and utilize them to cope up with normal stresses of everyday life. There are 3 prime factors that influence our mental well-being. It's the system, the society, and of course, the self. Let's break that down to ensure that we understand them better. First is the self. We must take good care of ourselves to efficiently reach our goals, to be better versions of ourselves, and to show kindness towards other people. So to my fellow youth, remember to reach out for help when you need to and don't be afraid to seek professional mental health care. Recognizing that we need help is a form of strength because we acknowledge that there are some life aspects that we need to improve on. In that way, we can come up with appropriate ways on how to resolve our problems. When we talk about the society, we should realize that our interactions affect our mental well-being. What we say and what we do towards another person influences how they perceive themselves and contributes to their self-esteem and confidence. We have to ensure that the skill of empathy is practiced at all times, and any form of discrimination like bullying, ostracizing, and the alike are not prevalent. To our parents, family members, relatives, peers, teachers, and colleagues, we must build healthy relationships. Relationships wherein we feel loved, valued, cared for, and supported definitely matters. Guidance from parents and teachers, support from family members also help us cope up with everyday challenges. Lastly, for systems, this also pertains to the different governing policies and operational systems that we have in the school, the workplace, and in the community. These spaces should also promote opportunities for us to live productive lives. That also includes policy support and a better healthcare system. Services and facilities should be available and accessible to everyone in need. So to our local government units, localizing the Mental Health Act or RA 11036 is one way of providing an enabling environment wherein the mental health of your constituents is an actual priority. It will be best to create sustainable programs that will address the mental health care needs of the people. Next, I'm going to share with you practices on how we can be better today. Dr. Martin Seligman, one of the pioneers in the field of positive psychology, coined the PERMA-FUE to guide us onwards wellness. We can also use it as a form of self-care. P actually stands for positive emotions. So we should create ways on how we can feel better about ourselves. One is to actually reward ourselves for a job well done, at least once a day. Of course, take breaks in between work because we need rest. Diversify our activities so that we can balance work and recreation. Establish our boundaries because whenever we say yes to something or to someone, we shouldn't be saying no to ourselves. avoid comparison because each and everyone is actually different from one another. So we have our own pace and ways onwards development and healing. Be thankful for what we had, what we have, and what we will have. Accept that we are only human. You do not have absolute control on anything, everything, and anyone. So there are probably some things that we cannot do or some things that we cannot control, and that's okay. Be kind to ourselves. I know, medyo mahirap siyang gawin, pero kinakailangan natin siyang matutunan para magawa pa rin natin yung mga kailangan nating gampanan at syempre maging mabuti din tayo sa iba pang tao. E stands for engagements. Make sure that you take every situation as an opportunity to better yourself. Utilize your strengths and nurture your weaknesses. And of course, choose the battles you will fight. R stands for relationships. Surround yourself with people whom you can build healthy relationships with. M stands for meeting. Whatever you do, whomever you engage with, wherever you go, stay firm and true to your principles and values. Work on and with what and who are aligned with your values and principles. Lastly, A stands for achievement. Best to define what achievement is and what success means to you. And every time you fulfill something, celebrate your success. Whenever we celebrate our victories, the reward center of our brain is triggered. It produces the neurotransmitter called dopamine that helps us feel better and happier. This also gives the signal to do better again next time. Those are just some tips that you may practice for self-care. Make sure to explore and create your very own self-care routine because self-care is individualistic. It actually requires self-awareness. Kaya laging tandaan, mahalin at alagaan ang sarili habang kinakalinga at pinagsisilbihan ng ating kapwa para we can be better today. Hanggang sa muli, ako po si Ate Alyannah, ang National Chairperson ng Youth for Mental Health Coalition. Nandito lang kami para sa ikabubuti ng ating kalusugang pangkaisipan. So let's be better today with Y4MH and Cyber Smart.